15. Nole serves here to 5 love. He sends out wider. Yep, that's game. Unbelievable. Musetti doesn't challenge, even though I think it was long. 5 love. 5 love.
I'll just hope he don't get injured and finish match.
Who's that, Djokovic? Yeah, look, Nole. I mean, she's not really doing much running, so I don't think you get injured. All right, let's answer some questions. I just don't understand how can anyone be so consistent with so few bad days of Djokovic? What? Nole going to win this in 45 minutes? Maybe. Kind of feel bad for Musetti. Yeah.
Hey guys.
What?
Let me turn this off. Just listening to Djokovic. I'm going to have to go back to Gillette if they'll accept toxic masculinity. I've never done this before. I was shaving and anyway, it's bleeding, so I apologize for that. Hey guys. Surprise, surprise, surprise. No shave till 100. I shouldn't have. Close shave. Close shave before 100. I went and looked up the tweet that Vancy was talking about. Sure enough, they say that CRTD might have a upstream by next week. It didn't say definitely, though. It didn't say definitely. And there were a couple interesting things that, yeah, I hope you're not, oh well. Oh, maybe I'll do that. Avid Trader is having a 9, let's see what it says. 9 p.m. GTII retreat is not an option call. That might be very interesting. I signed up for it just now. I guess I'll go. Frank put out Gensler, useless. Oh, there's no call today for him. That's what I was checking for. No call. He's going to have an 11 a.m. call Sunday. He's going to get the CEO of Upstream on the call. Wow. 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 No ham call. That's right. No ham call. I'll get on that call. Relax, everyone. Relax, everyone. Unless I cut myself shaving. I need to go back to Gillette. Whenever that was that 3 years ago when they said that they had a series of commercials against men? I thought it was the strangest thing. Attack your audience about toxic masculinity. Anyway, I stopped using Gillette. I think I'm going to have to go back to them. They're going to get me to go back. May not have CEO. Don't think it's set. Oh, it's not. He might not. Okay. Yeah, I was using Harry's, Eddie. Maybe I was just, I like Harry's all right, but I did it to myself. I have anyway, whatever. You just have to laugh because it really poured out, you know how your face, anyway. So I had to do something. Let's look at GTII. Wow. It's rally, 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 guys. Rally, rally, rally. 368 to 370, 365 to 370. It's only down 7 cents. And this could be the day, that they try to drive it down and it closes in the green. It opened today at 376. So let's make that our goal today. Even without the Hammeister's call, let's see if it can close above 376. Let's just see. Okay, so when I left you at 12:34, it was 347. It's now 369.5, 365 to 370. All right, this could be the key reversal we were looking for. All right, somebody just said MMAT, and I talked to my friend that's not him, and I beg the pardon of anyone that doesn't want you know, even if you, I'm not telling you to do it, but even if someone gets distracted and they just put a tiny bit in it, it could be fun. It's MMAT is what Torchlight merged into. It's 161 to 162. It was as low as 63 cents at the beginning of October, and its all-time, well, 1 year high is 542. But it's the guy said I mean, it's not like he gave me a lot of information, but he said it's a real company. They have assets, they have, real value. But the really important thing is this MTLP, which is now 747. So it pulled back a little bit. Where was that? It was 760 when we last left off. It's now 747. But apparently what he said to me on MTLP, it's already been announced that they're going to spin off make it private, MMTLP. But he said they're waiting SEC approval. I said, well, what if the SEC doesn't approve it? Have you thought of that? I said, no, I never thought of that. Well, I don't know if that's a big problem. But my point is, he said that it's imminent, that they're going to announce the record date. And once they announce the record date on MMTLP, it's going private. And his exact quote, my friend, said, the short position is a monster short position in both stocks. All right, enough comedy jokes. Let's go on to the next one. Finger. Did I say Finger already? Let me look at Finger. 684. When we left, it was 660. So that's up a little bit. 680 to 683, 319. And then we got to go back. Oh, wait, we can look at CRTD. 78.75. It was 75 cents. And now let's go back to the main event. GTII. 370. 366, 370. Maybe we will close in the green. Is MMTP running? MMTLP is the one I'm looking at. But anyway, I'm not sure it's running. But it's up on the day. It's up. You think it'll go 3,000 a share, Juan? That's a huge number. That's the kind of number that would excite me. Although I think GTII can go to that number. So, why, Juan? Say why you think that, because I'd love to know. Is it because the short position is so high? I mean, that's the kind of number that makes the young girls sing. I know 12 of the last 13 days, 12 out of the last 13 days green is either says it's time for a pullback, or which I don't know. I haven't followed it, but it also could be very bullish that it's just steady on accumulation. So anyway, on that one, my friend said that I haven't followed MULN. I'll write it down. I'm just telling you about this because this is the torchlight energy that merged in, and I know torchlight from before, so it intrigues me. What's next bridged? All right, so Juan says the fact that it's heavily shorted, all shorts need to be covered by the time it goes to next bridge. Is next bridge, is your refrigerator running? You better catch it. Do you have witch hazel in a bottle? Or in a can? Whatever. I don't know anything about AMC. It used to be a car company. MMAT, for those who can't buy MMT pill. Apparently the short position is the same, Prince Albert in a can. Both are the same short position, and one's going private, obviously. They're going to buy NextBridge oil. All will close green. Yay, Alicia. Always positive. You must be, with all the luck, you must be Irish. Imagine the luck of the Irish. Potato famine. British as their neighbors. I know it's your prediction. And it's your predilection to predict. Once $1 is approved, shorts have 15. Yeah. I could have done it. I see. It's the placeholder. Juan, you know this story. Okay, NextBridge is the placeholder until a buyer. I think it's awesome. And it's going to be fun to watch. It'll be a test run to see what happens when GTII creates a, what do you call it, digital dividend that it'll be just like going private in terms of where are the shares. We need the shares. So Kevin Story thinks that the close on GTII will be 402. The high in the day. Kevin's right. I'm going to be more modest and just hope that it closes higher than it opened. What was your joke? Stupid joke about the refrigerator running? I was shaving for you, and I was using Harry's thing, but I don't blame Harry. It cut it, and it was so bad, anyway. You are Irish and Italian, so am I. I'm Irish and Italian. That's why my dad's Irish, was. My mother's Italian. That's why I'm so tall. Well, I think he meant MMTLP in 15 days or so after they announced the record date. I think that's what he meant. I think. Yeah. Actually, I did hurt my chin that way once, helping a damsel. 6'2", I can't hold short positions. Well, you're in the top, I don't know, 2 or 4% of the world's population. It's like Amy Winehouse said. She doesn't like, no, you do want, all you want is ballers, 6'2" or taller. Frank, what a song. So what's the $1 though? The short must deliver in 15 days. What does it mean, $1? Well, I'm not as short as Napoleon, but I don't know what his syndrome was. I'm just not 6'2" or taller. Your dad was Italian, your mom is Irish. Wow. I bet your dad was handsome, or was handsome. And my grandmother, Irish, my favorite person in the world, other than my father. Wonderful, wonderful woman. Laughing at this stock for the past 2 hours in a good way, going up a cent. They are screwed. This is going to be epic. I think that's right. It's 370, 366, 371, Joshua. Last trade 370, 617,000 shares. It's not even a lot of volume, and they're doing the best. I think if GTII breaks 4 before 240, we will run to the high fours. In other words, before 240, 340 our time, we will run into the high fours. That'd be great. I was in Torch, and I actually lost money on it. I had for me, a decent position, not huge by any means. 370 if I had, 370, yep. 370 bid, wow, 371. Dude, great. But you know what happened, other than, there's a fundamental Avalon. No, but I can be anything I want to be after it squeezes. That'll be great. Yeah, like he's doing his daily cleaning because he can. Oh, you made killing in options. That's great. Faint heart never won the fair maiden. And that's true in most situations, although I am faint of heart when it comes to women. 370 to 371. Yeah. You should see the back of my head. All right, Fahad was right, 370. I think, now I forgot the name, I'm sorry, I apologize, but I think this shows such weakness on the part of the Kramers. Well, on its way towards 751 breakpoint, confirmation of another expense level for the S1. That's what you predicted? That's what you predicted? That's amazing. 80 million share position must cover within the next 15 days. Microcap daily. And if they don't cover, their broker will cover the shares for them. Perfect. You know, let me see if I can find that. Because I know it's not meant as a distraction, but that's the exact thing that will happen with GTII if they issue this digital. I mean, it's almost just change a few of the names and a few of the places. The story is the same one. New York, born and bred. I said, said there's two questions that are similar. I almost switched when it just pulled back, but I didn't. Yeah, I think GTI is going to be huge, and anyway, I don't think the midterms have anything to do with this, other than it will allow the government to make other mistakes because there's no election. And I think that a market crash, which I actually think they're going to try to make the market rally, But there's no question that the market's in trouble. And at some point, it's, in my judgment, it's headed a lot lower. It could round trip. I think anything negative for the market helps us in the sense that it removes liquidity from the prime brokers and from these kind of thieves, and then they have to cover. Well, Hosea, you can never be 100% right. Yeah, it's MMTLP is 742. I want to find that article, microcap. I guess I got to go microcap. Because I really think, whatever it says, microcap research, is the exact same thing that's going to happen. October, I guess it was October 20th. No, here's 4 days ago. All right, let's see what it says 4 days ago on microcap. Metamaterials, MMTLP, has rocketed past 751 highs and is now in an all-out blue sky breakout, exclamation point. Updates from Roller Pigeons, Terry Yonkers, and market moves below. On Wednesday, there was a short-lived short attack at the close, which failed to to drop the stock below $6. And just 24 hours later, MMTLP came back and took out the wall of sell orders at 750. For the massive short position, the walls are starting to close in. See, that's the exact same thing you can say about GTII. As we stated in our last article, once the that's the thing before the... You and I know we don't trust the SEC so much, is approved. The estimated 80 million share short position, I don't know what the float is, 80 million share short position must cover within 15 days after the announcement. Significant is different than significant, and it's different than very significant. You'd be amazed if you just delete the word very from your written, from any of your writing, you never miss it. Anyway, we will see a very, very significant increase in trading volume, and ultimately the brokers will pay whatever price they have to. That's what's going to happen to GTII to close out the position. Should a significant short squeeze happen, once the S1 is approved, $30 to $60 a share is the most common estimate on MMTLP, but there is always the chance it does an HKD. Now, that's an analyst. I would assume he or she is not. That's by Bo Rhymes. Bo Rhymes. November 3, 2022. So, what did David Lee say? He brought on the girls 18 online. It's a new dating. Everybody wants girls at 18. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So let me look at that. Let me give you the score again. We're going to go for, all right, it's 371, 367 to 372. 367 to 372 for GTII. And let me check on Finger. 671. Don't blame him on David Lee. I was just teasing. Yeah, no, David's great. I know he does, AC. I know he does. I was just playing. I was just funning. David Lee Roth. David Lee Roth. I'll be your ice cream man. 784 on CRTD. MMTLP. No ham call, I know. No, I am being nice to David. I am being nice. Oh, Lordy. Can't say anything anymore that people don't take it the wrong way. That's a Steve Martin joke. But I'll save that joke for another time when I know you better. It's a risque joke, but it was funny. 749, 754, 750 on MMTLP. So that was 760 when we stopped. And let's go back to GTII. There's a little, hey, hey, David. I wanted to show you guys something that one of your big supporters, and he might be on here now, sent me. And I don't think it's very long. Let's see. There it is.
Good morning, out from Boston. Let's kick it off. Hey, it's happened. It's happened. It really has happened. One of the things that Frank and I abhor, what we hate more than anything, is a fucking rat. We hate rats. But in this case, we are making an exception. William Tomita, former chief trader at Archegos, took a plea deal and ratted out Huang, and then said how they do price manipulation. Very, very clearly, very, very openly. Let's take a look at this document. Let's read it out. From March 2020 to March 2021, I was a head trader at Archegos Capital Management. During this time, I and others executed trades that allowed the fund to amass market power and certain securities traded on the U.S. exchanges. Archegos used security-based swaps to gain exposure to these securities while concealing the true size of the fund's position from the market and our trading counterparties. Systemic risk comes in right there. Once Archegos gained market power on these securities, I and others used this power to trade in such a way as to artificially manipulate the price of the securities. Acting at the direction of the head of the fund, I traded to increase the price of names in which Archegos held long positions and reduce the price of securities in which the fund held short positions.
All right.
I did this by example.
This is Al from Boston, and one of your compatriots, Pat, I won't say his last name because I don't know if I have permission, but he sent that to me. And it explains, I guess one of these guys, the chief trader of Archegos, ratted, so to speak. He turned on his buddies, and he's exposing all that we're talking about, and it's right there. And that's what'll happen here in GTII. So I was in Paris, France. And it's so difficult. Over there, hat is chapeau, egg is œuf. It's like those French have a different word for everything. He was good. Then he goes to, I was in, I guess he was in Spain. He says, they don't I would like to go to the hotel. So they don't understand me. So I say, I raise my voice. I would like to go to my hotel. And then he asks, ¿Dónde está la casa de Pepe? When he has to go to the bathroom. Steve Martin was a funny guy. Oh, you did, James? Great. Oh, you sent it to the SEC and the FBI. That's good. Well, tweet it up on Twitter. But it's I don't know Al from Boston, so if he has some sort of political meaning that upsets anyone, this is the first time I've ever heard of him. Oh, common sense investor. What it was interested, the reason I didn't play it all, but it explains what they do. And that's one really important thing. And it's in the court records. It's out there. It's like when Joe Valachi broke open this thing we have, Amerto. Anyway, when he broke the silence of the mafia, this is huge. Oh, AMC to 1 million. He did the that's good. I'm trying to remember more from that skit. He said, some people have a way with words and others not have a way, I guess. So I apparently ordered a shoe with cheese on it. Oh, there isn't anything? Mafia is a movie term, I guess. But anyway, I don't know what word to use then, but Joe Valachi broke the code of silence, and maybe this guy has finally broken the code. Tom, I'm embarrassed to say, Steve Martin has one where he says, I forgot. I'm trying to remember that was the punchline. I forgot. Anyway, I cut myself shaving. So I have to go back to Gillette products. I can play a little more of it.
Large amounts of a stock when the price dropped in response to negative news or trading pre-market, when I knew the fund's activity would have greatly impacted the price. I manipulated the price of these securities in order to influence others in the market to stay or to buy or to sell the securities in a which way that would benefit Archegos' key position, increase Archegos' purchasing power through variation margin. Wow. There it is. There it fucking is. It's incredible, you guys. It is absolutely incredible to me. This is up.
All right, I'm going to leave that there. What did you say? It could take down TD Bank? No ham call today, unfortunately, which is disappointing because I was kind of looking forward to it. I'm sure he's playing pickleball. That's what it is. When the IRS asks why you didn't pay your taxes, you say, I forgot. Steve Martin he's alive, I know, but back, that's so long ago when he was skinny. He's probably losing pickleball. Joe Pesci. Lou doesn't live stream on GTII? I thought he did, but that's okay. Buying more GTII at $12.55. Wouldn't it be great if it, well, maybe it wouldn't be. If when it went to 12, over 10, it was marginable so we could add to our positions. I like his bluegrass band. If you've ever lived overseas after you're an adult, one thing you'll miss is the sound of bluegrass, but also the sound of the fiddle that when it goes dum 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 right at the beginning. They don't have any of that. He was hilarious in that movie where he was the lonely bachelor in LA. He has a party, he's got a bunch of mannequins. 361, 364. We forgot. I know it's another week of BS. I can't help it. I really can't help it. Well, Buck, unfortunately, they stand out when they visit. You can still MM at limit order and Chase, on Chase, and for those saying it's PCO only, I don't know. Table for one. 361, 364, 3635. It's only 658,000. And I think we might have a run at the end of the day. We might see this push to the green today. And that's a good point, Gem Miner, is that I cut myself shaving, is that as long as the Kramers are selling, we can buy. I'm sorry, sometimes I interrupt your conversations. Wow. Who said watch HUDI? Did you see that today, guys? Again, this is not meant to distract. This is meant to elucidate, to shine the light on what might happen as GTII goes up. So yesterday, Ham mentioned HUDI, somebody else did too, and it was up $30 in the opening. Today, I remember I said it's down 30, and then it was down $50 today. Well, right now as I'm looking at it, it's up $66 on the day. So that's a reversal from around $50-$60. It's over $100 up since we last talked on 1 million shares. And remember, Ham said HUDI doesn't have a big short position. So just imagine what's going to happen. And anyway, I bring this up because that kind of volatility is probably going to happen in GTII. And you might, in the middle of the day, go, oh, God, it's down 50, and I should have gotten out. But then, just 2 or 3 hours later, it's gone up $110 while you're not watching. So anyway, we're not in that stock, so let's not focus on that. GTII 363. So they're trying. The spreads do seem wider now. 355 to 363. They're, as Ham always says, they need volatility. They need those gaps to do their illegal wash trades. And which one halted? Alicia, which one halted? GTII? Are you out of your mind? I just got something. Let me see what it is. I'll just read the summary. It's a long thing, but it says, in light of the guidance above, the SEC's finding that a hedge fund acted as an unregistered dealer could signal a tidal shift in the SEC's views regarding the dealer-trader distinction, especially given that senior SEC officials over the years had publicly acknowledged that hedge funds generally come within the meaning of trader rather than dealer. In this respect, the SEC's allegations and dealer analysis, while not explicit, seem to rest on two premises. All right, that gets too complicated. Implications. This seems to call into question the long-standing dealer-trader distinction and creates further regulatory uncertainty for market participants. This is dated, I don't want to bore you with all of it. This is dated August 17th. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission announced a settled enforcement action against Murchison Limited, a Canadian investment advisor to a hedge fund. They alleged that they caused executing brokers of a hedge fund to violate the order marking and locate requirements of Reg Show and caused the hedge fund to act as an unregistered dealer in violation of Section 15A of the Securities and Exchange Act. This is actually kind of huge. Maybe the SEC is starting to change things. Joel said it's good information. I'm not reading it all because I don't want to bore you, but 360, 364, 360, 364, down 12 cents, very little volume. It was around 1.5, and GTII's volume at lunchtime was 474. So right now we're 682,000. So it really hasn't traded very much this afternoon. It applies, yeah, but what it really does, it means they're cracking down on basically a loophole or an area that lawyers or whomever have made a legal distinction that doesn't exist. So they all right, so it's I agree. No volume means it's not trading, so it's not doing anything. But it's 358 to 362. 360 is the last trade. My best trade ever. I went in and paid $28 for Lucky. This is my best trade. But 358 to 362. Oh, I don't know what my best trade is. There's been a lot of them. I made bad trades too. The hardest thing is knowing when to sell. There was a company out of Tennessee, an oil company I got. I had 15,000 shares for doing some investment advisory work, and I forget. It went from dollars down to 15 cents or something. So I just forgot all about it. And all of a sudden, that thing went to $8 or $9 or $10, and I was going to hang on. I called and I learned the story, and it was supposedly going to be a $200 stock. But as I was standing at a cocktail party with, I won't say who, but somebody that would have a case to know, and I said, wow, I can't believe what just happened to my shares. It went from 15 cents to whatever dollars, and 10, 8, 9, and it's supposed to go to 200 or whatever. And he listened to me. He's a good friend. He's a good guy. And he said, well, you should know we did the work on that. And there's a lot of plugging and abandonment costs there. And so the next morning I got up and I sold my 15,000 shares. And it wasn't, you can do the arithmetic. It's not like it life-changing or anything. But that stock went to zero. So that was a good trade. Was I partying with the who? 358, 360, 360 last trade. Are you saying CRTD's moving? Yeah, that's 82 cents, 82 to 82.25. That'll be an interesting test case too, to see the example I just, not this one, but the one before that I read about MMTLP. That's going to force the brokers to buy the shares back in. Well, apparently, and I trust Dirty Mail, he's hearing that these guys might announce soon doing some sort of, digital dynamic duo and announce it very soon. This will force brokers to buy in. These are the exact same things that are going to happen in GTII. And so, yes, in a way it's distracting, but in another way, it turns me inside out. Okay, David Lee. In a way, I'm glad it's over. In another way, it turns me inside out. It's 85 cents on CRTD. Should we? Enbridge pays a great dividend. No, that's actually a good topic. I think, Philip, the oil pipelines too, but I've heard of Enbridge, and I think one thing to do once you have some money is, rather than spend it, and I like to think, if you have life-changing money, hang on to it for 6 months a year. Get used to it. Make it your friend, so you don't want to give it away. But also setting up a stream of income, particularly from companies that should benefit in an inflationary or a deflationary environment, and by that I mean energy. It's not a bad idea. GTII will not be a VW, it will be a Lambo. 352, 353, 355. Was it Kevin that said 402? Can't remember. 355, 359, 353, 357. All right, so that's not quite ready. I hate seeing that. I wanted to move into silver, but that's just the way it goes. It's opportunity costs. These crams. The crams. Well, that's right. Wow, MMTLP is 755. There is, there are people out there trying to do anything to disrupt our flow and disrupt our focus. And the good thing, guys, everybody, is the hamster is not, he's like a bulldog, but I like bulldogs. He's like a Rottweiler. He won't quit. I like Rottweilers too. 89.4 on CRTD. That's pretty interesting. Last night, Ham said the short position there is 330,000 shares. They only have something like 330 million. They only have something like 20 million shares outstanding. I mean, that's yeah, see, Jeff, Citadel was spoofing. So, and they do that. I can't believe HUDI is still up $73, 179, 180. again, I'm not trying to distract you. I'm just trying to tell you this is what's going to happen. This is, I guess it might be a Chinese IPO. I don't know enough about it, but it's up $80. It was down 50 today, and now it's up 82. So that's a move of $130 in just a couple of hours. So just preparing you for what GTII can do. And this is only 1 million shares. That's absolutely incredible. All right, let's look at Finger. Yo mama, 699, 671, 669, 671, 670 last trade. It might be done for the day, but it's showing a little get up and go. Don't prepare me, pay you. I don't have any money. You have to make the market, pay you. $7.52 on MMTLP. On somebody's saying CRTD, it's 88. It's pretty amazing, actually, guys. And then going back to, and when I say guys, I mean everybody. I'm not trying to be, it's just the English language. 345, 352, 353, down 22 cents. Moxie on our Stoxy. 353, 350, 46, 350, 346. Yes, we're all showing. Oh, Lordy. There are guys that are girls now. I don't know. People. Can I say people? You people? MMTLP is 756, up 30 cents. Finger is, we've got 4 minutes to the close, 669. And Finger was 660 when we broke off for lunch. So that's showing some strength into the close. CRTD was at 75 cents. It's now at 88 cents. So that's showing some strength. And now we'll go to the main event. GTII is 350, 346, 350. So I was predicting it might go in the green today, and it looks up. It looks like I'm going to be wrong. Can't say you people. What can I say? All y'all, all of all y'all. Dudes. 346, 349, 346, 349. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. All y'all. Somebody's call was, Avid's call on MMAT was on point. Yeah. Yep. He made me look ridiculous. And in my position, I cannot afford to be made to look ridiculous. Ewens. I like Ewens. Yeah, I like Ewens. All right, it's 346. Still a little over a minute to go. 346, 348, 744,000 shares traded. 350. So let's take a ring around the rosy quickly. MMTLP, 756, up 30. Finger, 668. It's down, but it's up. Like I say, it's up from earlier. a little bit, 363,000. MMAT is 161. That's pretty amazing, because that was, I think, 60 cents just sort of last month. Hoodie, we'll look at Hoodie. It's up 77 points, 183. And now we'll come back to the main event. 350. We got less than a minute to go, so we'll stay here. 346, 347, 347, down 28 cents, 746,000 shares. Hey, it just went up. It opened today 376. Oh, it closed at 4. That's what it was. All right. That's what that little green was. So it closed at 347 on 746,000 shares. I think if you keep in mind that pennant, that it's good. They tried to drive it down today. They couldn't. It stayed within the pennant. And as each day goes by, it's got to break out of the pennant. And in my strong opinion, and I think it's only 1, 2, or 3 days away. Take that, whoever that guy was. And I think when it breaks out, it's going to go up strongly. Yeah, we'll keep it on GTII. We can keep it on GTII. The only reason I've mentioned a couple of the others today is to let you know what could happen to GTII. And by the way, GTII is going to be the king of all these trades, in my judgment. It's going to be the king. You're going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed what happens to GTII. Oh, it was Joe H. I don't know. Oh, all right. They needed 350. It's going to be huge. Let me look at that, Alicia. Wow, that's massive. But see, that's what's going to happen to GTII. Make no mistake about it. What's keeping GTII down is the Kramers are selling, or they're doing these fake trades back and forth with the market makers. When the buy-ins come, the market makers won't do that anymore, and there won't be wash trades, and the Kramers won't be selling fake shares. So when you add the fact that the selling goes away and the buying comes in like a freight train, yeah, exactly, yeah, and it dissipates energy. I agree with that. GTII is the one, and JFRO's absolutely. There could be. In my experience, GTII often has announcements on Saturday night or Sunday morning. Let's see what's happening right after the close. Nothing, which is a good sign. So GTII, I'm sure Avid has a call at 9 o'clock tonight, and so we should all be on it. I'm sure that it closed within this triangle. I haven't even looked. I can't tell though. Maybe one of you can tell. But I'm sure that GTII closed within this triangle right in here. And see how it's coming to a head? So by definition, one of these days, it's going to break out of the pennant. And I think it'll break out to the top. And it'll be very soon. Very soon. Oh, Lou has one at 9. So maybe that's what Avid was setting up his... Okay, I think you better go on Lou at 9. Avid has a call at... Maybe I misread it, because I'd be surprised they do one at the same time. Or maybe they're going to do it together. Who knows? Anyway, sounds like you have 9 o'clock plans one way or the other. Lost 30% this week. Did we lose 30%? All right, so Lou and Avid are doing it together. Okay, same call. All right, so Lou's at 10, Avid's at 9. By the way, whoever said that the stock was down 30% this week or whatever, it may be true. I don't know. I didn't do the arithmetic. But just remember, they were trying to really hammer it down. And so this pullback, rather than bemoan it, well, I mean, you can. Reactions are reactions. It's a chance, I think, if you're so inclined. It's not financial advice. All of this on this tape is my opinion and my judgment, and it's not financial advice. But you're able to add to your position if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to add to your position, what it does is it makes the move, when it comes, stronger. It gets rid of some of the weaker hands, and which I think are few, because by definition, I wish Ham were making a prediction, but maybe this is going to be 65% short volume today, and the rest is washing. It's all manipulated. So to say you're down 30%, yeah, by definition, but they haven't closed the position yet. So if you're here for the short squeeze and for the rush that comes when they close the position, you want me to put the hammer down. I like that movie Thor. I think Lou has everybody's best interests in mind. It's funny, if Lou had come around, say, 20 years ago, he couldn't be helping you, right? I was thinking about a lot of this information and wisdom is really valuable. Oh, a phone call. Okay. I think it is a space call, but maybe. Lou is starting to look amiss. Oh no, Amish with his beard. Oh, his call's with Bill. Okay. Phil's crib, if you guys want to hear the other side of the story, this play will never squeeze. So he actually says queeze, but that's one point of view, and you certainly should consider it as you make your decision. It's interesting that anyone would care to watch a live run on the stock if they believed it's never going to queeze. Oh God. Not again. Not again. My GTIILIVE orders just all expired. That means it's been 60 days since the last time I put them in. Just to show you guys how long I've been around. Jay froze. I just have to put them back. It's just, one more thing on my list to do. It's fine. It's fine. It's just normal. It's just normal. They expire after 60 days, so you got to re-enter them. And that just means I've had to do it so many times. It just shows you that somehow the Kurt Kramer is still standing. I don't know how he's doing it, but he is. And it won't be for much longer, I don't think. So GTII, the volume was 746,000. What do you think? 500 of it was short trading. 450, 500 short. But do shorts ever cover? Haven't we all been talking about that? Well, Andrew Watson, that's exactly right. Shorts haven't, in the Gary Gensler world, shorts haven't had to cover, because what they do, they'll take a good company or just an ambitious company with good ideas and a lot of human capital and energy and that wants to grow. They'll lend the money and they'll just short it down to oblivion. And then no matter the intent or the product or the goals of the company, they can't do anything. No one's going to raise money when the stock price is 0.00001. No one's going to do an investment banking. They're not going to spend the time on it. And so the company, by definition, just disappears. It doesn't die, just goes into zombie land. And then the short seller, like a Kurt Kramer, can take the money out, transfer it over, or he has an omnibus account. He can move it, give it to his investors, and take it out and buy. Charlie Mayo can buy white cars, while the company just lingers painfully, and they never have to cover. The difference here, if I can just say it in one word, is ham. If I can say it in one word. If I say it in two words, it's management at GTII. If I can say it in three words, it's all of the various mousetraps that GTII has put out, including the warrant 18 months ago that is having the effect right now that it was intended to have, causing people like Fidelity to have to look for shares to put in their clients' accounts. Otherwise, they're going to be complicit in securities fraud. I'm not a lawyer, but that's my understanding. So, and then there's a digital coin coming. So you're trying to force the brokerage firms to be honest, which they haven't been. You're trying to force account by definition, and you're trying to force the enforcement of margin rules, reg show, settlement. You're trying to settle the trades. You're just trying to settle the trades. And the system doesn't do it. Gary Gensler doesn't do it. Whoever the guy is at FINRA doesn't do it. And they just move it all over the place. They believe that Revco's crap, the toxic crap they had, is still out there. So I think it'll be different this time, is basically my point. But you're absolutely right. It feels hopeless because they've gotten away with it for so long. But slowly, awareness, consciousness of this, as Ham calls it, education is key. Slowly, I don't know how many people, there's only 300 here now, but Lou talks to thousands of people, Avid talks to thousands of people, Ham talks to many, many thousands of people, and you each tells one or two friends. All of a sudden, people understand what a con job is going on. That's right, Diego. They have no fear of being stopped. None. I wasn't involved with Enron, but I read the book. What is it called? Smartest Men in the Room or something. And I also cited, believe it or not, I wonder, what was that guy's, Ken Lay? I really wonder if he was the criminal people say he was. Because remember, Merrill Lynch and what was the auditing firm that went out of business? Arthur Anderson, maybe? They were feeding him these products and telling him to sign here, do this, put this, anyway. It was a Wall Street. Alan, how can it be running after the market. I have a friend that just went elk hunting. You know, I couldn't shoot an elk. Yeah, PT Knoll, that's a good video. I played some of it just before. I'll go. Retreat is not an option. That's Avid. Yep, that's what he's going to do at 9 o'clock. I signed up for it. Unless the neighbor's wife asks me out on a date, I'll be on it. Yeah, I think 500,000 in volume in 10 minutes, or it's going down. Very true. Yeah, a ball thrown up goes down slower than drop. That's a good point. Yeah, Arthur Anderson as censure. Anyway, I think nobody's always right. My sister is the smartest person I've ever met in my life. But she's not always right, and I always tell her that. Doesn't mean she's right. 0.902 to 0.94, 93 on CRTD. That's amazing. Pressure is going all over. See, I'll be happy. I'll do that. Get over it when it goes over 100. See, a lot of these guys, Kurt Kramer's a different breed. He's like fearless. He's like living in La La Land. He's like delusional. But he also has separated consequences or any emotion. He feels no shame for destroying companies, for destroying livelihoods, for taking investors' money. He has no shame. But sensible short sellers don't want to be short this stock over the weekend. Yeah, Accenture. Because you could get an announcement and all of a sudden the stock, like I'm talking about CRTD, I suppose, I don't know anything about it, but I suppose it used to be $5, $10. It could open at $5. So you don't want to be short over the weekend. That's what the shorts in GTII should be worried about. But I think the Kurt Kramer, his hand is so bad. He has the losing hand and he's bluffing. And he's putting all his chips in, and he's hoping he doesn't have to tell his wife what a fool he's been. And he's just going to keep doing it until they drag him away from the poker table. I would never eat a bald eagle. What's Lou's handle? I don't know. I don't know what you mean. If it's on Twitter, I've never seen it. But his website is Lou versus Wall Street. You're right, Alicia. It is trading still, which is odd. It's kind of an over-the-counter stock, isn't it? The way of the Lou. Sorry. The way of the Lou. There was a movie with that name with Philip Seymour Hoffman. Really good. I don't know what it was called. The Tao of Steve, maybe. Excellent movie. Oh, Lord, I can't read that out. The Way of the Lou. All right, I'm going to go to 4:30, so another 12 minutes. Watch the series Shameless if you can stomach it. Ugh, I don't want to see an eagle eaten. The shave that wasn't. I know. It doesn't hurt now, and I don't think it's bleeding, so, but I'm going to leave it on so it... It's embarrassing. FTD, I don't think anyone is sending me flowers. Tell you a joke. They could have Ham on the call, but Ham probably is playing pickleball or he's with his family. He's a very good family man. Your friend kept telling you to watch the Tao of Steve. Is that the right name? I couldn't read it. I needed a styptic pencil, but I needed a really big one. I cut it. Anyway, it's just a story. And I don't like blood. I could never be a surgeon. I could never be a surgeon doctor. But thank God for doctors. Doctor. Yeah, I don't know the question FTD. I know people put up there that there's some FTD deadlines. I ignore all that because they move those around. And I don't think they're enforced. So I don't spend a lot of time thinking that we're going to get a whole lot of buy-ins because of FTD. But if you're asking, could there be buy-ins next week? Absolutely. Yeah, there's a list. Somebody puts it up, the FTD dates. I just don't think it matters. Kramer has it in one LLC. He has his buddy out in Luxembourg with a different account. Buy it from that LLC, and then he shorts it from another LLC from Panama. They have all the tricks. Hey, I could get a private dating chat girl. Maybe I can do that instead of listening to the call. It's unbelievable. Do you think they make money with that crap? It's absolutely unbelievable. If this comes up, no, it's not. All right. When will GTII run? When you sell it. If you get out, that's when it'll run, the next day. But I know that's that's been my experience. If I get out of something, it runs in 2 days. But we don't know when it'll run. I think the single biggest trigger that's going on right in front of your eyes is that Fidelity is looking for shares. Fidelity and the others are paying high interest rate for your shares. Why is that happening? Because warrants are getting exercised. Warrants are getting exercised. Warrants are causing stress at brokerage firms, and there's going to be a buy-in, and it could be next week. And Lou's talking about a coin. How should I handle some of these? Yeah, El Kiko. El Kukui. I don't know if a whale's holding it up, but I think so. I think there's more than one whale. And I also think, they can read charts too. So they pull back along with they pull back as well. But Wall Street, remember, the Kramers have been stealing from Wall Street, in my judgment, for 2 decades. But Wall Street also has people on the other side that recognized when a puny-ass punk like Kurt Kramer, in my judgment, is caught short, so to speak, they'll fry him. They'll fry him. They don't care about him. They don't care at all. And they'll come in and they'll roast it. They'll take it up to hundreds of dollars. And it'll be like that scene in Trading Places where Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy show the Duke brothers they had $1. The Dukes are the Dukes. See, Karen had the best answer to my flippant remark. Bill, sell it so it runs. I think our brokers are bad, but I also think it's systematic. And for years it ran okay from their standpoint. Remember, in the crash, Goldman Sachs became a bank. Morgan Stanley became a bank. And they put the risk desks out in hedge funds, out in independent pools of money. And so they just assumed all the risk is gone. And then they put computers in, and they put young men and women whose hair isn't white like mine. And they're going to blame it on systems. TD, Ameritrade will say our system didn't work. I'm trying to think of a joke. Nothing's coming to my head that's funny. Nothing is coming to my head that's funny. On the twatter, doing what you oughter. All right, so it's 3 more minutes. I know this is scintillating. Lion of all trades. Maybe I'll grow a beard like Lou. I have, is it pognophobia? I really don't like beards. Fear of beards. I think it's pognophobia. But I could grow one. Darn it. All right. I'll read you this joke, and it's a little off color, but I couldn't, hey Trace, I'll try to tell you a joke, mate. It's probably cornball, but the first time I heard it, I laughed. And it's not for youngsters. Goldie was sitting on a beach in Florida, attempting to strike up a conversation with the attractive gentleman reading on the blanket beside hers. "Hello, sir," she said. "Do you like movies?" "Yes, I do," he responded. Then he returned to his book. Goldie persisted. "Do you like gardening?" The man again looked up from his book and said, "Yes, I do," politely, and then he returned to his reading. Undaunted, Goldie asked, "Do you like pussycats?" With that, the man dropped his book and pounced on Goldie, ravaging her as she had never been before ravaged. As the cloud of sand began to settle, Goldie dragged herself to a sitting position and panted, "How did you know that that was what I wanted?" The man thought for a moment and replied, "How did you know that my name was Katz?" That's a funny one. Get it? She asked, "Do you like pussycats?" Anyway. Yeah, I can. Yeah, it's a real. Do you mean the numbers? The numbers? I can put it up. Let me see. I just got to find it. Whoever asked me to do that. I'd play a Norm Macdonald joke or two, but they take forever. But he's funny. Oh my gosh, he's funny. Yeah, let me put up Hammeister. If I can find it. Okay, here. Nope. Nope. God. Ham wrote up, Huddy is upset. It's up to 178. Up 70%. And he's emphasizing that that's what happens to naked shorts. He's not saying get in, stay away from it, you get killed. I'm looking for the call information. Somebody must have it. Oh, I know, I can write it down. I have it on my phone. I have it on my phone. Oh, here it is. Here it is. That's the number, 425 436-6326. The code is 376-6434, pound. So that's the ham call number for 11 a.m. Sunday. But you can find it on Twitter, and I'm sure he'll post it many times. All right, so let me just see how the scroll goes just one more time through, and then we'll let Lou and Avid take it from here. And opera, I like opera. I don't like English opera, interestingly enough. I prefer it if you don't understand the words. I know. Someday, when it finally goes, we'll be on this call, and I'm going to tell you guys I'm going in the other room to trade or something. We'll see. Thank you, Beach Guy. We're in the Army now. I like that movie, Stripes. Do you remember it? David Velez, sup? I remember that name. Yeah, maybe we'll see you Sunday. Do you remember Jimmy Durante? Cha cha cha. I got a million of them. My nickname is not Cats. Hey, my pillow's having a bed sheet sale. Yeah, that's it. All right, everybody. I'm sorry there wasn't much more going on today, and you know, it's just how it goes. That's the way love goes, dear. That's the way love goes. All right, I'm gonna say, see you later, alligator. Cheers. Oh, you're welcome, everything. Okay. Cheers, everyone. Cheers.